Welcome back to another episode of the Shake and Bake. We've been on a little hiatus lately, so please apologize for that. We're gonna be starting this technical video with teaching you guys how to do something that I feel is kind of important, especially with a boosted motor, which is changing the exhaust manifold hardware because it gets heat cycled, and if you were to pull off your stock manifold, you should replace this hardware because it's been many years that's been in service, and the exhaust manifold gets hot and hardware over time deteriorates and fatigues. So we're going to show you guys how to change your exhaust manifold hardware the right way in this video. So stay tuned, here we go guys. This is Zenki S14 SR20DET with a built bottom end, 0 miles, and we're going to be going ahead and removing all of the factory studs and doing an upgrade on the studs. So we're going to be upgrading to, these are upgraded Nissan studs. We've got a Torx head on there, and we've got an integrated flange and yoke spacer, so there's no more two-piece arrangement like your stock SR setup. This is also a metal deformed locking nut, and it's all one piece instead of the two-piece situation that you get with the factory stuff. These studs are actually much stronger and have the Torx head, like I said earlier, where you can actually get a bit on there to tighten them down and take them off if you ever break a stud. Very nice little feature. They have the same thread pitch, the same thread depth engagement, so we're not going to be pushing more threads into the head and risking damaging the head. So I'm going to be showing you guys how we're going to go ahead to take off the factory stock studs. What you're going to need to do this particular task is, highly recommend this product. We have a bunch of it on our shelf. It's a little expensive, but you buy it once and you use it forever. It has a really cool, kind of like an orange. What you're also going to need for this particular job is, so you'll need 2 nuts and 2 matching wrenches in order to be able to get this job done. You also want some brew. So put a little rag to catch, give it a nice little squirt like that. Wait until all of the bubbling goes away, give it a few more seconds, and then just clean it up. There you go. Same thing here, give it a nice little squirt. Wait until all that foaming bubbles go in. And there's one thing that you can't notice in the camera, but when you see this in real life, you'll see the bubbles actually get sucked in between the threads and the tolerance on the actual head. Once you've gone through and applied Croil on all your studs, what you're going to use is your 2 nuts. And this is a method that's normally utilized to remove studs. And go ahead and lock down that back nut, keep it in place. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and you're going to tighten this front nut. So you're going to go ahead and tighten it very tight up into the back nut. Don't let the back nut move. Keep it straight, keep it solid there, and just tighten that front nut. So you can't get that front nut any more tight against that back nut. This way now you can go ahead and leverage the back nut to loosen the stud. So now that the back nut and the front nut have a lot of tension towards each other, they act like a single element. And now what you want to do is you want to go in there, watch the threads, and there you go. The stud is actually backing off already. So this is thanks to the Croil, that penetrating oil. We got this stud completely loosened, and then you can go ahead and extract it. So you just keep extracting the stud. Now it'll be easier once I get more studs out of the way and I can keep just rotating my wrench, but it'll eventually hit this guy. Here's the stud, completely extracted. Okay, we've removed all the stock exhaust manifold hardware. It was a painstaking process. No, just kidding, it wasn't even that bad. The Croil really helped that. So here's all the factory studs, all of them intact. Every single one of them came out pretty easy, thank goodness. And now we're gonna go ahead and put the new hardware. So first step is drink more. Okay, so new stud, here we are. I went out and found basically a 1/4 inch hex socket, fits perfectly inside of here. It's got a nice and firm grip. No, it's not a Torx. It's just a hex socket, 1/4 inch. Fits perfectly in there, okay? And just so I can show you guys the comparison, there we go. The thread engagement is identical, other than that unthreaded portion at the very beginning of the upgraded stud. The threaded portion is 100% identical, so we're not going to be risking the integrity of the head, okay? So we did our research and we basically know that we're going to be okay. There's your stop. The stop is the same depth, the middle of the stud, and boom, the beginning is also pretty much the same, other than the fact that you have that extra section here for the actual Torx. It's not going to make a difference. So this makes replacing studs way easier because now you just use this to take them out and put them in. But basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little dab right there to the first 3 threads, okay? That's sufficient. I'm not trying to make this stud impossible to take out. I don't want it to ever back out on its own, and the red thread locker is the best, especially for a high temperature area like the exhaust manifold, okay? So just a little bit of thread locker just to help us keep that guy in there, okay? And then you get it started by hand, and boom, she goes in nice and smooth all the way in until you can't get it in anymore by hand. You'll feel that thing stop right there, okay? Okay, get that bad boy in there, okay? And then here we go to tighten it down. Notice that I'm grabbing the ratchet from the very top of the ratchet. I'm not grabbing the ratchet down here where I have a ton of leverage. I'm grabbing it very close to the top where I have my thumb hugging the top and I've got most of my wrist in the center of it, okay? And that allows me to get a nice, very nice feel of where this thing wants to bottom out. And right here, I can feel it stop. I can feel it resisting at this point, and I'm just gonna give it a little bit more of a bloop, and that's it, right there. That's all you need to do. So use your wrist, trust your intuition, you got this. The thread locker is gonna be in there, so it will not come back out, and just it's gonna be a nice firm feeling right there, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna go any further because that feels really good to me, okay? And you're just gonna repeat that same amount of pressure on all the rest of the 7 studs, okay? So we're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna go ahead and install all the studs again, and we're gonna come back and show you a finished product. Thank you. All right, we've gone ahead and installed 7 studs and we're down to the very last stud. So a couple of comments I wanted to make that I thought of along the way here is that, you know, keep in mind that you're installing a steel stud into an aluminum head, okay? These threads are aluminum, so keep that in mind when you're cranking down with your wrist. Be very attentive that the threads are aluminum and it's very, very easy to goober up one of these threads, and if you cross thread it by installing it incorrectly, or if you damage the threads by over tightening them, you're really gonna hate yourself. Another thing is, you guys are all probably thinking to yourselves right now, hey Alex, these studs are dope. Like, I wanna get some of these studs for my SR, CA, K, and where the hell do I order them? Well, John here in Irvine, they're in Corner 3 Motorsports is their facilities. He's a very, very awesome guy. Very true to the community. He's a grassroots grip racer, so he does a lot of stuff with the Nissan Challenge series. He's got these kits at a very economical price. So just comment below or message us at our YouTube page. We'll get you in contact with John so you can get a set of these studs and nuts. It's not just the studs, but you get a matching set of the deformed flange nuts, so it's a one-piece little guy. You don't have to worry about anything. Here it is, no yoke spacer, no independent nut. All it is just a one-piece little guy. Goes right on there, and boom, you're good to go. So we'll get these, he ships, we can ship these anywhere nationally. Comment below subscribe to our channel. We're always going to be doing cool stuff all the time. And yeah, we've been on a little hiatus, but we've all been super busy. But we're coming back to our roots and doing stuff for the community. So here's the last stud. She's in there. They're all installed now. That's the finished product, what you got here. Perfectly upgraded studs, all brand new, fresh, not heat cycled, not fatigued. And if for any reason in the future a stud happens to be broken on you, or gets damaged, or you need to replace them after maybe a couple years of driving, or you're going to change your exhaust manifold and you just want to refresh the studs, all you need is one of these guys, and you can just heat it up a little bit and knock them loose. No need to use the 2-nut method anymore to take them out. Very easy, straightforward. And that's pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for sticking through with this technical video. Please let us know what you think. Thank you, guys. We're gonna see you guys real soon.